Well, fresh evacuation orders have been issued this morning as flood-weary residents of the New South Wales northern rivers face fresh threats of flooding. Claire Todd-Hunter is live in Lismore. Claire, how's the situation there?
Well, it doesn't look like we're going to see any flood levels near what we experienced earlier this month in Lismore, but there is a major flood warning in place this morning after heavy rainfall overnight led to rapid rises along the Wilsons River. The minor flood level was reached just about 4:40 this morning. That was 4.2 metres. It does look like the moderate flood level could also be reached by 11 a.m, and the Bureau is warning that the major flood level is likely to be exceeded this afternoon, potentially getting as high as the Lismore flood levy, which is 10.6 metres. The SES is warning this substantial moderate to major flooding will cause more problems than it usually would at that level because there's already so much devastation in the community.
This rain going through those areas that have been impacted is just going to cause renewed damage to properties and anxiety for residents that are going through a really difficult time as is.
Now, the SES did issue evacuation orders last night for North and South Lismore. Those residents along the Wilsons River told to evacuate by 10 p.m. They were told if they didn't, they faced becoming trapped and unable to be rescued by the SES because it would simply be too dangerous for them to get in there. An evacuation centre has been set up at the Southern Cross University campus here in Lismore.
Claire, thank you. It's the last thing those residents need, particularly there in Lismore and the surrounds. Let's go to Georgia Simpson now. She joins us live from Stotts Creek near TUMBULGUM. Georgia, what areas are being told to evacuate where you are?
Laura, this would be a nightmarish deja vu situation for all these residents, but authorities are asking people in low-lying areas of KYOGLE, MULLUMBIMBY and Billinudgel and Tumbulgum and surrounding areas to evacuate. Assistant Commissioner Sean Cairns has said that more evacuations could be issued as the day goes on.
So we've got 6 evacuation orders in place with about 6,000 people, and then we've got 1 evacuation warning in place with about 5,000. We are expecting further evacuation warnings and evacuation orders to be issued throughout the day as the rivers continue to rise due to the rain that's going to be falling.
Of particular note, though, Laura, is residents in Tumbulgum. They were asked to leave by 7 o'clock this morning, so a bit over 2 hours ago now. The Tweed River there was already at 2.25 metres. We are told that once the river levels exceed 2 metres, local roads start to go under. So for people there, if they haven't left already, it could be too late. The river is expected to peak at midday at about 2.5 metres, but predictions are showing it could rise to levels of 3 metres by late this afternoon. There are multiple weather warnings in place right across the region, Laura, and flood warnings in place. So if anyone is living on the Tweed, Wilsons, Brunswick and Richmond rivers, they need to be aware and keep up to date with the latest information there. There are multiple road closures, for example, the one I'm on now, Tweed Valley Ray. To give you an idea of how quickly water levels rise, I'm standing in a small puddle of water right now. Right behind me, as far back as 10 metres, was completely clear of water. So it really has just sort of crept up on us in the last 10 minutes, and we will need to relocate very shortly. Laura.
Oh, Georgia, yeah, you've experienced this alongside with those residents 4 weeks ago. The ground is obviously very wet. The reason why we had so much rain 4 weeks ago is because of this East Coast low. So it's a very, very slow-moving weather system. This is pretty much the same thing, isn't it?
Absolutely. As you said, these catchments are so saturated because of this East Coast low, which has really sat over southeast Queensland yesterday, and it has moved into northern New South Wales today. It is worth mentioning, Laura, that in Queensland yesterday, the Gold Coast Seaway recorded rainfall totals of 300 millimetres. That's the most significant rainfall total recorded there since 2005. So this weather system is widespread, it is significant, and people are being asked to stay off the roads if they don't need to be. Also, there is a man still missing in southeast Queensland in the Darling Downs region, and authorities will resume that search this morning.
Georgia, thank you.